Can you give me external sources of the disciples of Isa? Give me external sources. Who were these people?
No, I don't know.
Exactly, yeah. We have external sources of the disciples of Christ. So that Muhammad is known as the Ahmed. Where is he? Where is it? In the Injil.
In the Injil, yeah. We don't have the Injil.
No, because the Quran says that they have it with them at that time. You have no Injils. The Quran is confirming a corrupted book. It's an Islamic dilemma, man. It's an Islamic dilemma.
How?
Because you're okay. But you do know that. You know people like David, right? You know David. You know he was in the Old Testament and he could be forgiven for his sins based on what Christ did. Because Christ's sacrifice, it says in the book of scriptures that Christ was slain before the world began. His sacrifice was pretty much done before the world began because God is out of time. So some of these people can have forgiveness because Christ's sacrifice was pretty much done out of time.
By believing in the promise that Messiah to come, yeah.
Because
I can't find the verse, but I'm trying to Google it.
But even if these disciples have differences, it does not matter because like these people are men. They can have differences.
They learned from Jesus. They were supposed to be like the best Christians.
But they can still have like disputes and differences. But if you look at Peter's epistles, okay, let's say for example they had a dispute. Later on, Peter confirms Paul's letters. In Peter's epistles, he agrees with Paul's letters. He agrees with what Paul wrote. As a Muslim, do you believe you're saved underneath? You have to like do the law to be saved.
You have to fulfill like what you have to like. You have to do.
Who gave? So why?
For example, you can't do.
Why don't you follow the Torah or the Injil as the Quran talks about? It talks about the Injil. It talks about the Torah. Why don't you?
The Quran doesn't say follow the Injil or the Torah.
It confirms it talks about the standing by the gospel. It talks about standing by the Torah. The Quran confirms it. Why don't you stand upon the gospels or the Torah? The Injil.
We don't have the Torah and the gospel.
Where is the? Where is it? Where is it?
I don't know.
Because you know why that's a historical
error. The Quran
error.
also says, woe to the people who write with their own hand and say this is from Allah.
So this is what is known as an Islamic dilemma. Your Quran on one hand confirms the gospel and Torah. It says that it's with these people in the 6th century. We have 4th century manuscripts. The 4th century manuscripts is what we have today. So either your Quran is confirming a corrupted book.
Do you believe the New Testament, the Injil?
So either your Quran is confirming a corrupted book, or there's a lost Injil where no historians are found. Where is it?
Do you believe that the Injil is the New Testament?
I believe the Injil was a revelation given to Jesus Christ. This revelation was written by his disciples.
No, but that's proof. That's proof that it's not the New Testament because the New Testament.
I never said it was the New Testament.
No, but for people who do.
I said the Gospels.
Yeah, the Injil.
Yeah.
From the Quranic principle, is the revelation given to Jesus.
But then,
the New Testament is books that are written
and the Quran
allegedly by disciples.
The Quran also talks about that the Gospel was a book because it said Muhammad's name is written in the Injil, so it has to be a book, and it talks about it talks about previous scriptures. We know
it's a singular gospel as well.
So Gospel of Mark is singular, Gospel of Matthew singular. It's a singular.
Four gospels.
If you wanna do it in the predication, it's a plural, but it's also a singular. If you look at Gospel of Mark, John, Matthew, Luke.
There are 4 different gospels though.
Okay. If you want to look at it in the predication, as in the there can be like 4 gospels, but they're known as a singular because Gospel of Mark is a singular. These are each singular, but when they were canonized, they're known as gospels. So I want you now to show me where is Muhammad mentioned in the Injil, because the Quran talks about.
You have the Injil. I said that already.
That's an error though, because how can?
It's not an error.
Okay, so let me. This is why it's an error.
Yeah.
Because in history, when somebody is writing a book, what they do is they make copies and copies of this book. Especially when a revelation is from God, like the Injil, like the Torah, they were making copies. These scribes, they were making tons of copies. They were doing it as a job, right?
Yeah.
So they were producing copies and copies, and the copies we have today, right, is what matches from the 4th century. So if there was an Injil the Quran is talking about, we should at least have one copy that the Quran is talking about.
No, because we believe that the Injil, we don't have that at all.
But they should be at least have one copy because they were making copies and copies of it.
So who said there's copies and copies of it?
Scholars.
Of the Injil?
Of the Gospels and the Torah.
Yeah, I'm talking about Injil though.
The Injil is the Gospel.
Now we've already established that the Injil and the New Testament are not the same. Because the
I know.
Injil,
No.
What's the
Okay.
Injil then?
huh?
So where is it? Where is it?
The
Where is it?
revelation given to Jesus.
Yeah, and this
The New
revelation.
Testament and the revelation, just like the Quran's revelation given to Muhammad.
Yeah, but I understand you're saying it's a
Yeah.
revelation from Jesus.
Yeah.
But what is it?
The revelation.
Was this revelation
What does
written
it
down?
say? What is it? What is
I don't
it?
know what it says. I haven't read it.
Who
So
corrupted
how does the
it?
Quran confirm
Who
it?
corrupted it?
Quran confirmed it because it's from God.
Who
God
corrupted
confirmed it.
it? Who corrupted the Injil?
Well, I can't give you
So
the name
why
of who
would, why
corrupted it.
would
This-
why would Allah confirm a book or I don't know a saying that is now lost? No one knows what it is. You're confirming it. Your religion's confirming it. We don't know where it is. Don't know what it says.
Allah's
we have no
confirming
idea.
it. Allah's
But
confirming
but for some reason
Yeah.
you don't know what at all what it says.
Yeah.
What's written in it? But you know that the one that we have is corrupted.
And you know why?
What
You
basis
know why
are you
that's.
comparing it to?
No, because you're saying the one we have corrupted as if the
No, you're
Injil-
saying what we have is corrupted.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're claiming that the Injil was.
By the way,
given to
we don't need the Quran to say.
But do you know why that's- do you know why that's an error?
That the Bible corrupted within itself.
Do you know why that's an error? Do you know why that's an error?
Yeah.
Because if the Injil is corrupted and
We
you're.
show contradictions within the New Testament. We don't need the Quran to prove that corrupted.
But this is the error. If the Quran is corrupted and your Quran is confirmed,
not corrupted.
if the Injil is corrupted and your Quran is confirming it, it only leads people to the great pit. Why is God, all-knowing, all-powerful, confirming a corrupted book, telling people to stand by a corrupted book? Our
No,
God, the
no.
God of the Bible, will
When
never
we
tell
say-
us to stand by a corrupted book because it will lead us to another faith.
When we say that the Injil is no longer here, it's corrupted, we're not talking about the New Testament though. That's
I never said it's the New Testament.
Yeah.
This is the name of the scholar
Yeah.
who first said that the Injil were corrupted in the 11th century.
Yeah, Ibn Hazm and
No, the Quran says, "Woe to those who write with their hands and say this is from God."
But he's the first like, scholar to say that the Injil were corrupted.
okay, but this is what I'm saying. Okay, this is why it's an historical error. This is why it's an historical error, because when these gospels were written first, when these Injils were written first, they were making copies and copies and copies. This is why textual criticism still applies. This is why these textual critic scholars, what they do is they can compare what has been corrupted, if there has been anything lost and missing. No scholars in this day of history has said there has been a lost Injil whatsoever. They agree that the gospels we have today was from the time of Jesus. And
From the time of Jesus.
yes, from the the 4th century, from the 1st century.
No, the complete manuscript you have.
No, the 1st century. We have church father quotations.
You don't. You don't
Yes.
have any. You don't have any
Church father
manuscript.
quotations.
The oldest. You know the oldest manuscript in the
I'm
New
not
Testament.
talking about. I'm talking about church father quotations from the
No,
1st century.
I'm talking about the New Testament.
Okay, even the let's
Yeah,
say
yeah.
for example the full manuscript.
You know the oldest manuscript is
4th
around
century.
this big. It's around this big.
No. We have the 4th century manuscript. You go to the British Library. It's a full manuscript.
It's not. The
Yes,
oldest
it is.
manuscript is not
No.
full manuscript.
It's a full manuscript, the New Testament, and it's what we have today from the 4th
No, the
century.
oldest complete
So Muhammad,
manuscript-
the gospels we have today was accessible to Muhammad.
No, I'm talking about the oldest
Yes,
manuscript of the New
4th
Testament.
century. 4th century.
It's not a complete manuscript.
Codex Sinaiticus.
It's not
It is.
complete.
I can name
It's around
scholars.
the credit card, it's around the
I can,
credit
no,
card
that's
size.
that's a fragment. That's
Yeah.
P52 and
Yeah.
P56 and I believe. So these are little fragments of the Gospel of John and Gospel of Matthew. These are
When did the date to you? When did the date?
the 2nd century. I'm not talking about that.
2nd century.
I'm talking about church
Oh.
father quotations and the Codex Sinaiticus and Codex Vaticanus.
So,
These
church
are what we
father-
have today.
Church father quotation and the New Testament is two different things. That's like me saying, we have to steal the Quran.
No, it's not.
Before-
Do you know what
before that's the
quotation
Quran.
is? The church father quotations
Of
were.
what? Quotations
So
of
they were quoting the Gospels in the 1st century, and their quotations from the 1st century is what we have today.
No,
So-
the quotation is like
It's of scriptures. No, it
explanation.
was not. No.
It's not.
It was literally of scripture. You can see Polycarp, you can see Tertullian, Ignatius. These people were quoting scriptures, and it's what we have today. So your Quran is you have no Injils. Your Quran is confirming a corrupted book. It's an Islamic dilemma, man. It's an Islamic dilemma.
How
Because so first of all, your Quran is confirming a corrupted book. You have no Injils.
No, it's confirming
Right?
the revelation that God revealed.
No, it's also
Yeah.
it talks about Muhammad being written in these Gospels and the Torah, but Muhammad's not mentioning any of these things. It's a big Islamic dilemma. You have to show me where Muhammad's written in these scriptures.
I don't have the Injil, so I can't show you something that
no, because
I don't have.
okay, because it talks about, it says this in the Quran. The Quran.
Wait, didn't the Old Testament use that? Oh, Jesus is going to be called everlasting Father or something. In the New Testament, can you show me one place where Jesus is called everlasting
No,
Father?
these are names. So these are characteristics.
No, because they say this about Jesus.
Yeah, these are
He's gonna be
these
called
are.
mighty God, everlasting Father. Can you show me one place in the New Testament where he's called everlasting Father?
What book in Isaiah? In the book of Isaiah, that's in chapter 9, right?
Title.
So these are
He will be called everlasting Father.
these are characteristics.
When was Jesus ever called everlasting Father?
Okay. These are characteristics attributed to him, what he will be known as. But I can show it to you. Where is Muhammad going to be called Ahmed in the Bible? Because it says Muhammad is known as
Injil,
in the Injil. It says that Muhammad is known as the Ahmed. Where is he? Where is it? In the Injil.
The Injil. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have the Injil.
No, because the Quran says that they have it with them at that time. The 6th century people had the Injil. The 4th century manuscript is what we have today.
Now, talking about now.
Yes. Okay. So the
Yeah,
4th
now we
century.
have it. Yeah.
So so you have an Islamic dilemma then. It's the biggest Islamic dilemma. Whether you like it or not, it's an Islamic dilemma. Because we have 4th century manuscripts. It's still what is reliable to what we have today. It matches. The 6th century people had the Codex Sinaiticus. You know what I mean? So Muhammad should have been written in the Codex Sinaiticus. Where is he in the Codex Sinaiticus?
What?
Where is he in the?
But we don't believe the New Testament Injil. That's what I'm saying. Even according to
I didn't
the
say
Quran,
that. I didn't say the New. Okay, the Gospels.
You
The
can
Gospels. The
totally
Gospels. The Gospels. The Gospels.
Gospel.
The Injils. Yes. The
Jews
Gospels.
gospel.
Yes, so you can look at it. You can look at it like that because the Gospel
Yeah.
of Mark is singular. The Gospel of
But the
Matthew
Quran says- the
is
Quran
singular.
says-
The Gospel of
Quran says that
John is
you
singular.
revealed the Injil to Jesus. If I asked
There
you,
wasn't.
do you believe
Okay,
that the
can
New
you give me
Testament-
external sources now? Give me external sources of the disciple of Isa. The disciples of Isa.
No,
Give me external sources.
The Quran says that we revealed the Injil to Jesus.
Right.
But you don't believe the New Testament was written by Jesus or revealed to
No,
Jesus?
I believe the revelation was given to Jesus. It was written.
yeah.
It was, so we, as a Christian, I believe the revelation was given to Jesus. Is written down by his disciples. Like the Quran, a revelation was given
You don't
to
believe it was written down by Jesus, do you?
no, but Jesus himself. But the Quran is the
afterwards.
Quran. The Quran says it was the Injil was revelation.
Barman said that the New Testament, they wrote it like roughly to...
No, Bart Ehrman and Bruce Metzger. I read his book. He literally confirms that the doctrine of Christianity, the crucifixion, the Gospels is not corrupted.
No,
There
he
can
said
be
it
there's
was written-
Bible errors, but it's not. There's no corruption.
He said it was written around like many years after Jesus. 60 years.
You know who Alexander the Great was?
Yeah.
His biography was written 300 years later. No scholars dispute about that. The biography of Jesus Christ was only written around 40 years after his crucifixion and resurrection.
Eyewitnesses.
By witnesses.
Are you Christian?
Yes.
I just wondered because I just thought.
Yeah, I'm Christian. Yeah. But anyway, man, we're getting. But I just want to ask you one more question. Can you give me external sources of the disciples of Isa? Give me external sources. Who were these people?
No, I don't know.
Exactly, yeah. We have external sources of the disciples of Christ. External sources that show he was crucified. We have a chain of narration that knew the disciples of Christ as well.
You have a chain of narration?
Yes, we have.
Polycarp,
Yes,
John.
Polycarp, Ignatius, Irenaeus. For the Apostle of Mark, we have Saint Ananias, Saint Melios. For Peter, we have Saint Clement, Saint Linus.
Have you seen Bar Ehrman's commentary on the New Testament?
I
What it
didn't.
was about?
I say Bar Ehrman. Who was his teacher?
I don't know.
His teacher was Bruce Metzger. I hold him to more authority than Bar Ehrman was. I see.
He's a renowned scholar though.
He's kind of crazy man, but I see many people are
he's
disputing.
not.
Because you know when he wrote that book of misquoting Jesus, there was another scholar, I can't remember his name, he pretty much wrote a book refuting everything Bar Ehrman made. But Bruce Metzger, the teacher of Bar Ehrman, no student is greater than the master. Bruce Metzger was greater than Bar Ehrman, pretty much agrees with everything that we have today, says the Gospels are reliable. Yes, we do have textual variants and scribal errors, but does not change the
He
doctrine of
analyzed
Christianity.
the New Testament and he'd come to the conclusion that Jesus never claimed divinity. Through,
That's
like,
an
through
proof.
all of the...
Again, I don't really hold to authority. If I look at other church,
One of the best scholars of our age.
other scholars such as Barton Peter, you know, Daniel Wallace, they agree Jesus Christ was God. So just because one scholar says something doesn't mean it's true. My authority is the Bible, and Jesus' divinity is in the Bible. That means that's why authority. Do you want to draw the line there, brother?
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
I know what you think about the Prophet. I can't shake your hands.
Rastakla. So first of all, the way how this debate started was about, I don't include it started, but it was about Uncle Sam. They started coming to me and asking me about condemning Uncle Sam.
Okay.
So we don't agree, just because somebody has fallen short of the glory of God, we don't agree with the behavior.
That's right.
We don't hold man, like people in the park, to be our role model.
Moral example.
We hold Jesus Christ to be our role model.
That's right.
Their role model was Muhammad. And he married a 6-year-old. So why are they, if they want us to condemn people, why aren't they condemning that?
That's a good question.
That's how the debate started. And then it went on, and then it went kind of crazy, man. That guy, he started like using bad languages, ad hominems, attacking me and stuff like that.
Don't lie.
He didn't want to condemn anything in the Quran. And then it went on about Jesus Christ, you know, starting a new covenant. You know, that he was saying about that Jesus Christ, he give me proof that he started with the new covenant.
Okay.
And Jesus Christ himself said his blood is the new covenant for mankind.
Right.
He talks about why are we circumcised in the flesh.
Okay.
Well, God himself said that he would give us a new heart, a new spirit, a new law.
New law.
And Jesus Christ himself came with that new law, which is the Spirit of God. And the Spirit of God has set us free from the freedom of slavery.
Right.
He talked about
Yeah.
slavery being in the New Testament.
Okay.
Well, I'll show you them a verse in the book of Galatians where it talks about we are not under the yoke of slavery, for the freedom of Christ has set us free. So we are no longer slaves, but we are children of God. And then the conversation kind of got about the Injils, the Islamic dilemma. Like it kind of went all over the places. Like the Islamic dilemma, the Quran confirms it, a corrupted book. There's no Injil, there's no external sources pretty much of Isa's disciples who we know about. So he has no ground to stand about. Then he wants to go onto scholars such as Bar Ehrman, whom they love to quote. And funny enough, this person himself was saying, no student is greater than the master. Who was Bart Ehrman's master? It was Bruce Metzger. And Bruce Metzger refutes everything Bart Ehrman said, agrees with Jesus Christ's deity, agrees with the Gospels, agrees that it's not being corrupted. So he has no ground to stand on, and he looked kind of confused. It kind of looked like he was like lying to himself, like he didn't want to admit. Yeah, and at the end, he didn't want to shake my hand. He was following the examples of Muhammad. Yallah.